I'm a prosecutor with the Attorney General's office, and the Attorney General's office is helping the Nashua Police Department in this investigation. We don't have a prepared statements, but we'll certainly take any questions, knowing that this is an active and ongoing investigation at this point, so the amount of information we can share is fairly limited.
Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, at this point, again, it is an active and ongoing investigation. We issued a news release in which an adult male entered the golf course area, and there was a shooting. An adult male died. Additional people were injured, and it's currently being investigated at this point.
Is this some sort of a hate crime, or what do you believe happened?
So there's a lot of details that we need to figure out, and we need to know that information before we can share it, and that's one of the details that we're trying to learn.
Well, we heard that he yelled out, "The kids are okay," and "Free Palestine." So what is that?
Yeah, well, we're dealing with the facts and the information that we gather, and once we get that facts and information and have an actual motive that we can share, we'll certainly do that. But right now we get to deal with the facts and the information. For example, there was some information that there were 2 shooters. That turned out to be erroneous. We can definitively say that there is only 1 shooter.
Was this a targeted shooting?
Again, that's facts and information that we're trying to develop right now.
How many victims?
1 adult male is deceased. There are multiple shooting victims. Again, we're trying to iron out that particular detail. Some of the shooting victims went to local fire departments, so that's why we're not sure of that detail just yet. How many people were injured in addition to the deceased male?
Is it okay to think that those victims are okay if they're at a fire department rather than the hospital?
It's too early to say at this point what exactly the condition of the non-deceased people are.
Why were they not taken to a hospital?
Again, some people went by themselves to local fire departments.
Can you tell us if the shooting was at the wedding or the restaurant?
Yeah, again, that information is still being developed, and as soon as we can share that without interfering with the integrity of the investigation, we certainly will do that. I think there was.
Are they all gunshot wounds or experiencing
There were some gunshot wounds. There may be some non-gunshot wounds. Again, that's one of the details that we're still trying to figure out as part of the investigation that Nashua is actively pursuing.
Where was the suspect arrested, and how long after the shooting was he laying in wait? Had he taken off from the scene?
Yep. So no suspect has been arrested. A person of interest has been detained pending warrants at this point in time, but there has been no arrests. But we have identified all the people involved in the situation, and there is no threat to the general public at this point in time.
I guess I meant, so is the person of interest here, were they located in relation to?
Again, that's information that we're developing, and we can share that. When we can share that, we certainly will.
Do we know the type of weapon that the suspect or person of interest had?
No, other than a firearm, no. And we also don't know if there are additional weapons involved.
Do we know if the suspected shooter is connected to the wedding or the restaurant in any way?
Yeah, again, that's one of the things that we're certainly trying to find out and trying to develop, and once we can share that, we certainly will.
Chief, I guess when you have a weapon involved, can you just talk about this as a public event? There's a wedding going on, people enjoying a night in Nashua. Can you just step to the microphone and just talk about all this happening? And like people are supposed to feel safe and have an enjoyable night.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance.
So I think one additional thing that we needed to know is that any family members are looking for family members. I think the point of meeting place is here at the Sheridan in Nashua. So if anybody is looking for any family members who might have been at any of the events at the golf course, come here and they can be assisted.
Do we know how many people were at the wedding?
Don't.
A witness said that people there at the venue tackled the shooter and took the gun away from him. Can you confirm that, or can you talk about that if you have any info?
I can't talk about that now. Again, it's still active and ongoing. The Nashua Police are doing a great job gathering evidence, finding witnesses, talking to witnesses, but this incident is only a few hours old. There are multiple witnesses that need to be talked to, multiple videos that need to be obtained and then looked at. So once we get a fuller understanding of what happened, including possible motive, we certainly will share that when we can do so. And again, I think it's too early to talk about what some people might have thought happened and focus on facts and evidence, which we're still gathering.
Video of this incident, and how helpful was the surveillance video in determining that there weren't 2 shooters?
So, in many cases, there's videos, and I think this case would be no different. As to the extent of video, again, that's something that's still being developed in terms of not only video from the scene, but video from surrounding areas that could shed light on how people got there and other type of information.
Is the vehicle at the fire department that has yellow tape around it, is that connected to the suspect? Is that where he left the vehicle and went into the venue?
Yeah, frankly, I don't know that information, so I can't provide any insight on that. Anything else?
It's a
Is there
fearful
anything-
situation for many people out there this evening with the lockdown that was in place. Just any words to kind of quell some of those fears maybe for people out there who are worried or concerned?
Well, so I work with homicides, and every homicide is a concerning situation. But at this point in time, Nashua has done a great job at identifying all the relevant parties and making sure that at this point in time there's no further threat to the public. So that's what we stated in the press release, and we feel confident repeating right now. Again, there was an erroneous statement. There were two shooters. It's believed there's only one shooter, and we have a person of interest who has been detained, and there is no threat to the general public. So we stated those with assurance in the news release, and we can repeat those today and right now.
The mayor? Please ask you, Mayor, just, you know, you've been a fixture in this community for decades, and just your reaction tonight to what's transpired and gone on and your feelings about it.
Well, for any community like ours, this is a big tragedy that there would be such an incident. We are lucky that we have the Nashua Police Department, and I'm confident that they will get to the bottom of this and will bring the appropriate people to justice.
These people don't think things like this happen on a Saturday night in a public area in Nashua, New Hampshire.
That's right. I mean, I've heard from other mayors in other places, of course. It happens in Dayton and all these other places. But, and it always crossed my mind, well, it's unlikely ever to happen in Nashua, but now it has. And I think the message is for every community out there that no matter how unlikely it seems, it can happen. It can happen where you live.
And even just though there was loss of life of one person, you had a wedding going on next year, all the people in there, this could have been in this day and age of mass shootings, this could have been markedly different.
And I don't know the extent of the number of people who were injured or shot, so I can't really. I mean, one person is too much, and it sounds like there were more. So hopefully, it's as few as possible.
It's a difficult situation for so many. How are you feeling this evening?
Sad, and thinking about the families that were affected, and it's just for us sad that it happened in our community.
Chief, can you just talk about the swift action of your department? I know you train on these sorts of incidents, but can you step to the microphone and just explain how quickly your officers were able to diffuse the rumors, find the person of interest, and calm things down?
Sure, they worked together. We trained together. It was a quick response. One going into a dangerous situation like that, but we trained that way. The teamwork, the officers, what they did was remarkable.
Are there any federal agencies involved in this, or is it all?
Yes, we had to call in, obviously, an event like that was reported. We called in mutual aid from several towns and some federal agencies.
Was there a call for an active shooter? What type of call do you get when you have something that's happening in such a public place?
To be honest with you, I don't know exactly how it came in. And shots fired, active. I don't know.
Chief, were officers already at the scene, present?
Again, I don't know that. I got here as quick as I can, and the information obviously is pretty coming from different angles and stuff like that. And you're trying to weed out what's real, what the Attorney General said. So.
Let's talk about the cooperation, interstate cooperation from New Hampshire to Massachusetts, because the communities on both sides, some people shelter in place. Can you talk about how you're able to work together?
Yes, we have great partnerships with Massachusetts as a stone throw away. You know, I'm getting calls from the chiefs and other departments that want to come and assist. So, you know, we talk about brotherhood, and they're there when it really gets tough. So we had multiple agencies coming and responding right away. Phone call away to Colonel of State Police, Sheriff Newcomb, and they were here pretty quickly.
Chief, there were several people we talked to who left their belongings there, their cars there, and walked down and ultimately came here. Give them an idea of when they might be able to retrieve their things.
Yeah, it's still active, and we're still up there working. I can't give a time limit on that. I'd like to. I know everybody would like to get their property or their cars back, but it also is an active investigation. So we're not going to disturb the crime scene.
Again, this still is an active and ongoing investigation. We expect there'll be further developments, but in terms of further news releases, I expect that those will be once the deceased person's family has been notified and an autopsy has been conducted. We typically put out a news release. That'll probably be tomorrow. And if and when there's an arrest, there'll also be a news release on that. To emphasize again, that person of interest has been detained. There has been no arrest at this point in time. Okay? Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Could you tell us your name again?
Yeah, it's Peter Hinckley, Hinkley, Senior Assistant Attorney General, Attorney General's Office. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Okay, I'll see you back there. All right, thank you very much. Good job. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Joel. Sorry it's under these circumstances. Take care. Thank you.